Good morning, everybody. Thanks so much for joining me here on Wave Now. I'm Myra Ansari. So I know a lot of people may think, well, who could fall for a scam? That was just so obvious. But trust me, there are people that fall victim to scams all the time. And when you do, it is so heartbreaking and frustrating because sometimes it's your identity that's lost. Sometimes it's money that's lost. And it's just, it's hurtful. So today we're partnering with the BBB, the Better Business Bureau, to let you know about some scams that are going on during the holiday season. So joining me now is Whitney Adkins from the BBB. Whitney, thank you so much for talking with us today. First, tell us a little bit about some of these scams. Anybody can fall victim to them. You've got a list of 12. We're going to try to get through as many as we possibly can today.
Absolutely. You hit the nail right on the head, Myra. I always like to say when we talk about scams that nobody is immune. And I don't care what your educational background is. I don't care where you're from or how old or young you are. Because I can tell you at BBB, when we hear from victims of scams, when people report scams to our scam tracker, they are coming from all different types of backgrounds. So no one is immune. I think a lot of times what happens is we let our guard down. Things that may seem obvious when we're thinking objectively, in the moment when we get excited or flustered or frustrated, whatever the emotion may be, it's much easier to fall victim to scams, which is why at BBB we're always stressing for folks to take a step back, to really look at a situation before acting, and to try as much as possible to think, objectively and logically rather than reacting immediately.
Whitney, you said something really important, taking a step back. I think when people try to pressure you about something, saying, this is urgent, you have to do it now, that's a big red flag. Like, okay, nothing is that critical, probably. Somebody may be trying to take advantage of me.
Absolutely, yes. We always like to say, if you're in a situation, whether you're purchasing something or, whatever the case may be, someone is really, really, really pressuring you, if they're laying on all the tactics, and they're trying to get to give a sense of urgency, that you have to act now in order to get this sale, or, something's very urgent, that can be a red flag that you're dealing with either a scammer or someone who's just not practicing good business practices. And you may want to walk away from that because, yes, nothing is really that urgent when we think about it. But when scammers and con artists get you to think, oh my gosh, I have to act now, you're less likely to pay attention to details. You're less likely to read the fine print or, think through what they're telling you, because you feel like I have to act now. I have to buy, I have to do whatever, or I'm going to miss out, or I'm going to be in trouble, whatever the case may be. But we're here to stress, don't fall for those tactics. Try to see through those, when they're pressuring you. Because that's ultimately how they get you to act without thinking.
All right. So one of the things on your list, Whitney, is that you get consumers, they pay for items that they never receive. They get charged monthly fees for a trial they never signed up for, and then they're getting counterfeit products. Talk to me about that.
Absolutely. Top of our naughty list of scammers for the holiday season is misleading ads, specifically misleading social media ads, because these can pop up. If you're scrolling through Facebook, Instagram, even TikTok, you'll see these flashy ads that look great. And you click buy, or, you click through and you buy something thinking it's going to be great. But then you either never receive the product, or what you receive is very obviously not what you ordered. It's a cheap knockoff. It's counterfeit. We see this happen a lot with online ads. And we really caution folks to be careful when clicking through, especially if it's a business that you're not familiar with. Now, certainly there are a lot of legitimate small businesses who are starting up, who advertise on social media. But unfortunately, there are also a lot of scammers, and they can make their ads look legitimate. So before you click, check out the company. You can visit our website, bbb.org, to review the company first. Make sure we don't have any complaints against them or reports that they might in fact be a scam before you buy. And honestly, when in doubt, it's it's usually best practice to go to the manufacturer or retailer site directly rather than clicking on a link on a third party site. They know that you are shopping with a trusted source, with someone who is actually going to fulfill their end of the bargain, has customer service to help you if you need it. Better to take the time to do that than potentially get scammed by an ad that, for a product that doesn't exist, or is never going to arrive to you.
If you've fallen victim, if you're joining us here on social media, if you've fallen victim to a scam and want to share your story with us, please post it in the comments. Or if you have a question for the BBB, for Whitney, please post it here. I'll try to get that question over to her so she can answer that for you. All right, so another scam, Whitney, is social media gift exchange variations. They pop up every holiday season. They typically revolve around exchanging bottles of wine, books, or small gifts. I haven't heard of this, so tell me about that.
Yes, we see it every year. I've seen it, on my own Facebook feed. Unfortunately, I've seen friends of mine share these types of things, and it looks really fun on the surface. The post tends to follow the same formula, where someone posts that they want to do a gift exchange or a gift share, and they're looking for whatever, 5 friends, 10 friends, whatever the case may be. And it's for, everyone's going to get a bottle of wine who participates. Everyone's going to get a book, or, an item, we'll say $20 or under if they participate. And it kind of, on the surface sounds like, oh, well, it's just like a gift exchange you would do with your coworkers or your friends or your family. Except that when you're on social media and it's kind of being blasted out there, you don't actually know who you're exchanging with. And often these lead to you putting your personal information out there for a bunch of strangers, your home address, and that of your friends and family potentially as well. And honestly, it's rare that, as this gets shared and shared and shared, it's rare that everyone involved actually gets, what they were hoping to receive, whether it's wine or a book or a gift or what have you. I mean, bottom line is these social media gift exchanges, they're legal pyramid schemes. Now, you're not going to get in trouble for participating if you fall for it. But you are going to, end up being disappointed that you paid money to send a gift to someone that you likely don't even know, and you don't get anything in return. So just know that when you see these posts, it's a pyramid scheme.
It's a pyramid scheme. Yeah, I think we're having some connection problems there, Whitney.
It's not legal, and posts like this, you might want to reach out and be participating in a pyramid scheme.
Okay. All right. So holiday apps, people can browse Apple Store, Google Play, and you'll see dozens of holiday themes pop up. And I think I'm guilty of this. I know a lot of folks are. We don't read the fine print, as we discussed. You just agree, because you want to get to, right, the whatever
Yes.
you're trying to download or become a part of. But that can be really dangerous because sometimes it can contain malware. What is malware?
Malware is any type of, virus or anything like that that is put onto your device, whether it's your phone or computer, either to steal your personal information or to just mess up your device. Because there are scammers out there, and then there are folks who just want to be mean and mess up people's phones and computers just for the fun of it. I don't know why. I don't understand it, but that's the bottom line of malware. A lot of it, though, is looking to steal your personal information. And a lot of us, keep a lot of personal financial information stored on our phones, stored on our computers. And if they're infected by malware, that puts that information at risk. So yeah, with these holiday apps, now a lot of them certainly are legitimate. They're fun, but you want to be careful because you can't always be sure that they have been screened properly by the online app store before they make an appearance. Now, a lot of times, it gets reported that they are scammy, they'll be taken down. But still, you don't want to be one of the people who has to report, oh, I've been scammed by this app. Myra, I know you have kids. I have a kid. It's really tempting to download fun apps for our kids, whether it's talking to Santa or, Christmas or holiday themed fun activities. just be careful. Again, read through that fine print, Google the app first, look and see if anyone else has reported, like, this wasn't what it was seemed to be, or, I got scammed or what have you. Just be cautious, because again, this time of year especially, we see the Apple Store, Google Play get kind of overrun with these holiday themed
Yeah,
apps.
absolutely.
And we cannot guarantee that they're all good.
I'm glad we talked about this, because I remember on Facebook, and you may as well, Whitney, remember when you could upload a picture and it would do a sketch of you, and everybody was doing it and making their profile picture of it. But, we were all downloading something on our phone, right, or our computers, and we were doing it because everybody's doing it, and not really. I don't think most people were like doing their homework and researching what exactly they were allowing into their personal information.
No, unfortunately, we see a lot of that with the social media trends, and they're a lot of fun. I understand, and they're flashy and they're fun to share. And you see your friends doing it, and you want to do it too. But just be mindful of what you're downloading, and as well, what information you're putting out there when you download these apps or participate in these programs, because inevitably they do ask for at least some personal information, or maybe access to your Facebook profile or what have you. So just be aware that, nothing is for free ultimately, even with apps. Maybe they're not charging you money, but they are charging you in information.
Very good point. Okay. So I know so many of us were worried about our, our accounts, whether it's Amazon, whether it's Netflix, whether it's, whatever we have, and sometimes we get these notifications, oh, your account has been compromised. And you're thinking, oh my goodness, I thought I did everything I was supposed to do. I had a secure password. But sometimes even those alerts are not genuine or authentic.
You're absolutely correct. We see reports of these types of communications, if not weekly at BBB, definitely every couple of weeks, we're getting more reports of messages that seem to come from legitimate sources. Amazon is the big one right now, fake messages purporting to be from Amazon. And they all say a similar message where your account has been compromised, or we see a large purchase on your account that's pending. Did you actually purchase it? And you think, oh my gosh, I haven't made, a $1,500 Amazon purchase. And the message goes on to say, or if it's a phone call, they go on to say, well, if this wasn't you, we can help you fix it. Unfortunately, these are scam messages. And ultimately what they're hoping to gain is access to your account, whether it's Amazon, Apple, what have you, or just, again, get your personal or financial information. And you ultimately end up paying when your account was always safe to begin with. So if you get these types of messages, what we strongly urge is, if it's an email or a text, do not click on any links. That's just a great general rule of thumb. If you get an unsolicited message, do not click on any links within that message. If it's a phone call, don't give out personal information or account information over the phone. If you're not sure, if it really seems like this could be legitimate, contact the company directly to verify. Log into your Amazon account if it's Amazon and check for any purchases. Check your credit card or bank statements. Try to verify the message, and or contact the company directly. They'll be happy to tell you if it's a legitimate message, because they don't want their name anymore.
I think you nailed it there, Whitney, just saying that, telling folks to contact the company directly. Don't click on that link. Don't answer any questions. Go directly to the company that's claiming to send you that information that you've been hacked, and they will answer you very quickly. You'll know. So I'm glad we talked about that. Okay, so free gift cards. Scammers have been known to send bulk phishing emails requesting personal information to receive free gift cards. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, it's the time of year where our inboxes are inundated with coupons, with buy one, get one offers, with free gift card offers.
Oh, no,
Or companies that you've ordered from in the past that want your business again. But you have to be careful, because, if it seems too good to be true, like these free gift card offers, red flag, honestly, especially if they're coming in the form of a pop-up ad or a text selected as a winner for a gift card. Again, exercise a lot of caution, and please, I can't stress enough, don't click on any links. Even if it sounds really tempting and you think, oh great, a free gift card, I could really use that this time of year. More often than not, these tend to be scam messages that are just looking to steal your information, and you never get that gift card.
All right, Whitney,
Anyway.
I think we've got some bandwidth issues. You're breaking up just a little bit, and Zoom is telling
Uh-oh.
me, yeah, I mean, the joys of the internet, right? But we'll get there.
Right.
It's all good. I know our viewers are patient with us, and we'll get there and let you kind of reset, because I know this information is really important for folks. All right, so we were also talking about holiday jobs, because that is also very important, because when we talk about, that went a little bunkers. When we talk about holiday jobs, everybody's like trying to pick up some extra cash to pay for those gifts, to do all of these things, but that can also get you into some trouble.
Potentially, yes. There are a lot of great legitimate holiday job opportunities or temp opportunities out there this time of year, but you want to be cautious. Make sure that you know the company that you're applying with first, that it's a legitimate company, a legitimate retailer. A lot of times we see work from home opportunities pop up this time of year that seem really great, almost too easy, too good to be true. You really, really want to be cautious about those and make sure it's a legitimate company, which again, you can always check at bbb.org first, see what others have said about them before you commit. If you get random sort of messages allegedly from recruiters, even if they claim to represent a legitimate company, check with that company first to make sure that they are indeed hiring, that this is, someone who actually represents them, because that's another type of employment scam we've seen, where we have fake recruiters, again, likely just looking to get your personal information, and not actually hiring for the companies they claim to represent.
Okay. And I apologize. We're just having some minor issues here with bandwidth and then the screen there. But I'm trying to say, no, it's all good. This is, I think with the pandemic and Zoom, we've all learned to kind of adjust and go with the flow, right? So,
Yeah.
I'm glad we talked about the jobs, because I know a lot of people who are picking up extra work right now. So that was really helpful. Lookalike websites. I've done so many stories on these where people think I can get a loan or I can get whatever it is. And you see, when you look really closely, logos will be funny, grammatical errors. Sometimes when you call, and oftentimes a lot of companies do have, what's the word I'm looking for, Whitney? Like call takers who are overseas, but sometimes you can really, really tell, like, okay, this person's not being helpful at all. This could be a scam right now.
Absolutely. Yeah. Lookalike websites can be especially insidious because they're pretty good at making it look like you're on the actual website. But you hit the nail on the head again when you talk about look really closely if for anything that seems even just a little off, because those are signs that you might not be on the legitimate website. And especially be cautious if you landed on that website by clicking on an ad. When in doubt, even when you're not, in doubt, you think it's legitimate, it's always best to type that website directly into your search bar so that you know that you're visiting them directly. You're not on a fake website that's just looking to steal from you, very likely. So yeah, just best to, instead of clicking through on an ad, going to the website directly. If it's a legitimate ad for a legitimate company, I guarantee you're going to find information on that sale on their website. They still want to get, your money and get you that good deal. So don't be worried about losing out on that. Better to be overly cautious than to lose money or even your identity via a fake website.
Oh, there we go. We got you in full screen. I don't know what happened, but it finally worked. All right. So this is also big. We do, and I'm glad we're talking about this next topic because, we had a full day of Angel Tree and Angelathon and talking about the Salvation Army. Sometimes when there's natural disasters, we're talking about the Red Cross. But there are a lot of fake charities out there. And you would think, why would anybody want to, I think sometimes when we think that nature is not in us, why would anybody want to do that, right? Why I wouldn't take advantage of somebody. Why would anyone want to do that to me? But there are so many fake charities out there. And right now they're asking for your help.
There are, unfortunately, there are fake ones right along with the legitimate ones who, instead of actually helping people, are just looking to make a quick buck off of very well-meaning people who just want to give back this time of year. I say this all the time. I think our community, Myra, is such a warm, giving community here in Louisville and the surrounding area. I think we are full of people who want to help, who want to do good for others, and I think that's a beautiful thing. So I certainly don't want to discourage anyone from donating to charities, whether it's this time of year or any time of year, especially this time of year. A lot of charities, this is when they see a good chunk of their funding come through, and that's great. But you do want to exercise caution when making donations. Make sure that you're giving to a legitimate charity. There are a couple ways you can do that. One of them is you can visit give.org. That's give.org, which is BBB's site where we review charities. We actually accredit charities as well as businesses, and they have to meet several standards before we give them that accreditation. But you can also on give.org look up charities that haven't been accredited by BBB and see if if they're legitimate. You want to check and make sure that they aren't being vague about where their funding is going.
I think we're getting some bandwidth issues there. Whitney, you're slowing down just a little bit.
Okay.
Well, while we're hopefully fixing this little glitch, I want to go through some of the other things. Fake shipping notifications, that's a big one. You'll get them on your phone a lot of times. Online, there's been so many, like you'll get a notification that they're really phishing attempts in disguise. So they may also try to trick people into paying new and unnecessary shipping fees. So, and also we're going to talk about pop-up holiday virtual events. Scammers have been reported creating fake events and pages and social media posts and emails charging admission for what used to be a free holiday event. So the goal is for them to they try to steal your credit card information, and then they'll confirm with the event organizers if there is an admission fee in case there is a charge. Pay with a credit card. Always, always, always credit card. That is so important. If the event is free, watch out for scammers claiming otherwise. I think we've got you back on a little bit, Whitney. Talk to me about people. Why I feel a little frustrated. I was watching a story yesterday, and how there's so many protections if you use a credit card, but why don't we have protections in place for debit cards?
That's a great question, and hopefully something that will be improved upon. And certainly if you do use your debit card and you do find that you've been scammed, you can work with your bank or financial institution to rectify that. It's a longer, drawn out process typically.
Okay.
And unfortunately, with your bank, if that's compromised, that's your actual money versus, a credit card charge that you can dispute and get, erased. So another reason to be cautious when using your debit card. And whenever you can, it's really best to pay with a credit card.
Okay. All right. And then also, if something is priced insanely, ridiculously cheap, okay, take a step back, because that dream vacation of $200 to Mexico or something crazy, just be a little cautious. I hate to say if it sounds too good to be true, probably is, because everybody says that, but it is true.
It's very true. Yes, if you are finding advertisements for luxury items or the hottest toy that is sold out everywhere, or whatever the electronics, whatever the case may be, and you're seeing it not only available, but for a really, really low price, that's a big red flag. I hate to break it to you. You're likely not getting a good deal. You're getting scammed. You're either not going to get that product or you're going to get a counterfeit, and you, again, compromised your financial information. So avoid those seemingly too good to be true, because they are, unfortunately, a lot of times too good to be true.
All right, and this is also big because sometimes people think, the perfect gift is going to be that adorable puppy or the kitten or whatever animal it may be, and they're going to fall in love, and you've fallen in love looking at that photo, right? But sometimes those are really scams because I've done research on this. You put down a deposit, you're on a wait list, you're waiting for the next litter, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's just kind of tricky.
Yes, and I get it. I'm an animal person. We in my house we have a dog and 2 cats. I love them, so I totally understand the desire to add a furry companion to your household. But you just, as with anything else, you want to be cautious, because this is where scammers are going to take advantage of folks as well. If you're looking to buy a puppy or a kitten from a breeder, you want to make sure first and foremost that you can see that animal in person. I cannot stress that enough. Or at the very least, that you can see it via a live video chat, because what you are looking to do is to confirm that that animal is in that breeder's possession, that they didn't just pull cute puppy photos off of Google and claim that they have those animals themselves. So bottom line, when you're buying from a breeder, please make sure you.
Absolutely. Or you can go to our local shelters and check out all of the animals that we know that are there and that also need good homes. Whitney, this information is so helpful because I know if falling victim to a scam any time of the year is awful, but around the holidays, it's even worse. You don't want your identity compromised. And keep this in mind, talking about things like this, maybe if you've been a victim of something, sharing it, putting it in a review, those things are important because you are notifying people around you, like, hey, I fell for it. I don't want this to happen to you. Reporting it to the BBB. These are all really important things.
Absolutely. Please, if you do fall victim to a scam, number one thing I want to tell you is don't be embarrassed. I know it stinks, it's awful, but it really truly happens to everyone. So please report it to us and the other parties that may be necessary, like your credit card company or your financial institution. Even, in some cases you may need to get police involved, depending on the type of scam. But bottom line is, please don't be embarrassed to report. Please share that information with us, because educate others of what scams are going on in our area, and we can prevent it from happening to someone else, and we can help you walk through the steps of what you need to do to kind of build back from being scammed.
Absolutely. And keep in mind, folks, I know folks say, and Whitney, what you said was right, contact police too, but oftentimes, Whitney, correct me if I'm wrong, some of the criminals behind all of this, they're in another country, and it is going to be virtually impossible for you to get your money back or find these people.
Unfortunately, you're not wrong. Scam networks, it's rare that it's one singular person. It does happen, but it's not common. It's usually a very large network of scammers, which makes it very difficult to trace it back to the ultimate original source. And yes, if you didn't pay or put down money with a credit card, I really can't stress credit cards enough. Please don't pay with a gift card or a prepaid debit card if you're not 100% sure of who you're dealing with, because scammers know that when you pay with those types of payment methods, that money is as good as theirs and you cannot get it back, unfortunately. So please, when you can, always pay with a credit card. At least you can dispute that charge if it turns out to be a scam. But yes, ultimately, it can be very difficult to catch scammers, unfortunately. But what we can do is sort of reveal the types of scams they're engaging in, so that hopefully, ideally, others aren't falling for them down the road.
All right. Whitney, thank you so much for sharing your advice with our viewers today here on WAVE Now. We don't want anyone to have to deal with this tough situation of falling victim to a scam. Always go to BBB's website for more information if you need to file a complaint. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Myra Ansari with Whitney Atkins from the BBB. Have a wonderful day and happy holidays.